Hey everybody, Michelle is here on this Tuesday. We're still in the month of June and the temperatures so far is comfortable. How about that? And people are outside working, which is good to see. See people working and moving around and taking care of business because that's what it's all about. You being prepared for potential storms that may be coming this way and this and that and the other. And I told you about how, the last two storms were devastating for Florida. But yet my property managed to hold up, except with some other miscellaneous situations. But I won't go into that. How about that? Um, but I'm sitting here contemplating in my favorite chair with my favorite blanket here. See that? Of my niece. And she was born in 2008. And she was wrapped in that blanket there. And I was telling you about a lot. Well, I don't know if I was, but I was telling you about, I was telling you about events that happened in my life that were like revelations. Yeah, I guess you can call it a revelation. You can't really put words to it, but let's call it a revelation. There were revelations developing in my life between 2007 and let's go to 2007 to 2010 in that window of situations. We can call them windows of opportunity or moments in time or the right timing or this and that and the other. And during that time, actually, between 2007 and 2010, there were some shifts in my life. I think I said that, where, you know, I, you know, I can remember one day in a house with somebody that I was, I guess, going out with, and this person had a lot of kids and grandkids, and I can remember because I thought this was it. I thought, okay, right, I can, this person appeared to, love their children and blah, whatever. Everything seemed to be, a good environment to be in. This person, because I came from a big family, and so, but I'll get back to that in a minute. So I can remember one day, you know, when I thought, okay, I can settle with this, and that's the key word right there, settle. That was that's not what I. In other words, settling is not enough to kind of put up with certain things that I put up with, and I'll go into detail. So in other words, I thought this was it. I thought this was in the right environment. Blah blah blah. Everybody had a job. Everybody was appeared to be responsible. And but I could but I told I but I know that I can sense and receive quickly, and I didn't know that's what was happening. And I can remember one time sitting, all of us were in the living room, all of us. I was with all of them. And I remember something came over me, and it was like a feeling of dread. And I remember when I was had planned to go to this big city. I was getting similar reservations, and so that moment right there, I was getting reservations about all of this. I was like, oh boy, this is not going to turn out good at all. And so over the course of time, oh yeah, it you know it was it got bad quickly, thankfully. And so that's one thing about certain experiences in your life. If you're paying attention, you get signs that there's a problem. And then some people, and I know, like with me, you invest so much time and effort, and you think, oh, this is it, this is it, this is it, and then it turns out that it's not. So thankfully, instead of me forcing myself to be in that environment, I decided to, maybe unconsciously or however, I started picking up on stuff. And this person probably noticed that I was picking up on stuff. And what I was noticing about this person is how they were treating other people. That is what was a revelation to me. And that's how you know how people are going to treat you. That's how they treat other people. Because eventually they're going to be treating you the same way. Okay? Because I can remember how she would be talking to her kids. And how, the language that would come out of, and I thought to myself, wow. This is, it just hit me wrong. I mean, not hit me wrong. It hit me right, actually. They say, uh-oh. So there's the thing about timing, like I said. And you do get the signals that, okay, something may not be going on, or something may not be right about this situation. Because, the anger in this person was a brutal anger. And the way that they were talking to their kids, I thought, wow. Okay, wow. So apparently this person picked up that I was not feeling all of that. And so eventually they did start to turn towards and come after me, and most of the time people do that when they see that you're vulnerable. And I was vulnerable at that time. I was vulnerable for, various reasons. But even though all that stuff was happening, I wasn't broken at all. I was still like, because I don't retaliate against people unless they physically come after me. Now, if someone's physically coming after me and physically attempting to harm me, okay, I step in. But when someone is verbally being harmful verbally, which is just as bad, but I don't let stuff penetrate into my feelings. So whatever this person will be going off about, it didn't penetrate and bother me. But I was concerned about the children around there. But so eventually I got out of that situation, thankfully, because it was going to be it was about to be a devastating thing. Meaning, this person wanted to go ahead and let's get married and let's do this together. Let's combine this. They were so quickly they were doing everything they can to quickly get me into a relationship with them legally. Let's go down to the courthouse kind of thing. And I thought that was odd, but then something else would come up to where that person would come off that subject and go on to something else. But anyway, you do get the warnings, is my point. And I was getting them, bing, 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 bing. And then they're not like red light warnings. They're like little taps on the shoulder, like, pay attention. I think if I had not had that experience prior, when I moved to when I moved to Atlanta, let me just say it. When I moved to Atlanta, where that was a complete failure, and could have been a potential disaster for me in my life. If I had not had that experience, I would not have known that I was in another potentially bad experience. So you're gonna get into those. That's why you need experiences. That's the whole idea. Experience stuff so you can refine your sensing and receiving, so that you can get the right messages quick, so to get the hell up out of that situation, or move or leave or something. Okay, so thankfully because that would have been a nightmare to get out of. How people quickly want to get married, get into your finances, and boom. All right. So, and then some people still are devastated from that, from even, because how we used to do, We think we're in love. We might be in love, or it might be infatuation. Also, that we have the same. They give you the same sensation. So, when you're locked in the magic of a kiss, or are you physically involved, and so you get all kind of lost. You get lost and all of that. But then, in reality sets. And so I think that's why my mom was so adamant with me not to get pregnant. She was like on me, even though she had all them damn kids, all of us running around there. She did not want me to be pregnant. She, that was almost a threat to me. And I'm so thankful to her for that. A mother's intuition, right? She said, she kept focusing on me. And I couldn't understand why. I had a sister. Nobody was paying attention to her, though. I mean, hey. But they were paying attention to me. Everybody thought, Michelle this, Michelle that. I remember certain relatives, the same thing. And I remember certain relatives say, you need to keep an eye on her. They always just say that. You need to keep an eye on her, keep an eye on her, keep an eye on her. I had no idea why they were saying that. And my mom said, well, I remember my mom always usually defended me from that. She defended me from people coming after me. But she and I kind of had a tense relationship because I wanted to be free. I wanted to be flowing. And she put a stop to that. She wouldn't let anybody that was interested in me come into the house. She wouldn't allow that. But then but it's just so weird. My sister used to be able to do all that. My sister used to have people all up in the house. But anyway, we ain't gonna go there. Just in case you're listening. Like I told you, people used to try to call me. And they said, Michelle, I'm trying to call you. I've been trying to call you. And I never would get a message that somebody was calling me because my sister was always on the phone all the time. Fine. I talked about that. But I just want to give thanks to my mom because she was on me for a reason. And she probably knew that there was more than I needed to do with my life than have kids and be married and blah, 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 blah. So, and like I said, I'm thankful to my dad and his brilliancy as well. He knew that I was not no college type of student. He knew that I had to go my own way, had to self-educate myself. Okay. And so my mom knew what the responsibilities were to having children. She knows that. She had all of us running around in there, and that drove her insane. I know it did. Not that she didn't love us, but that drove her insane. Okay. That led to her depression and led to this and that and the other, because I think she had dreams of other things as well. But when you have children, that's your responsibility. And she took on her responsibility with us magnificently as a black mother. We all know that, how black mothers, what some of our black mothers do to make sure that we are taken care of. All right. My mom did all of that. My mom had the instinct to know who not to trust in the family. And she was right on. She knew about people coming into our house, knowing that my dad was barely making ends meet, taking care of all of us. But yet he had relatives that were always in his pockets. All right, so we won't go there. I already mentioned that. So it's important to have the right kind of foundation, whether it's rocky or not, whether it's discord, chaos, destruction. It's good to have a foundation. And so back in black culture, back in the day, there were most of the people that I knew that I went to school with, they had a 2-parent household. They had a mother and a father in there. Now, whether it was the best experience or not, it's an experience, nonetheless, that gave the black culture their structure and their strength to have the man and the woman together, the masculine man, the feminine woman. Now, to set the foundation for us to witness it, experience it, and know what it's like. Okay, it's not. In other words, you can call it a blueprint, or you can just call it experience. I call it experience, meaning, okay, I had that experience. I learned how to develop a certain characteristics about myself, virtues, you know, being a woman of my word, walking the talk, hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, getting my heart broken, thinking I'm in love at 10 and 8 years old. You know how we were, and how my mom put a hold on me. I wanted to play sports. She wasn't going to allow that. It's like she had to be always watching out for me, and she was. And like I said, I was the last one to leave the house. And when I left the house, prior to leaving the house, I knew my mom was going into depression. And then by the time I was getting ready to leave, she was in depression. Okay. But I knew that it was time for me to go. I kept getting those tap on the shoulder. It's time to go, Michelle. I was the last one to leave. So I left. And my mom had to deal with her situation with my father. That's what they came together and made the promise to do. And it worked. They were both together through thick and thin and sickness and health. And my dad was there till the end in that house. Okay. He was the first to go. And then she passed away less than a year later. Okay. That whatever they had bonded together was between the two of them. Okay. Whatever words they spoke about this and that and the other, that was between them. Okay. They have been together over 50 years. So I know they've had some late night talking, honey. And communication and this and that and the other. And the reason why I said that is because they managed to stay in that house together. Even with all the kind of bullshit that was going on in and out, people coming and going, blah, 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 blah. They still had that bond together until the end. And it was a peaceful ending for both of them. Okay. So what's my point? My point is, without building up yourself, building up your character, having some foundation, you can easily pick up what is right and what is wrong. And you can easily pick up what is right for you and what's wrong for you. And there is a timing to everything. There's a timing. We're all responsible for building ourselelves up and taking responsibility for our lives and being held accountable, regardless of what happens. And it just builds character. And if you were in a bad relationship, that builds character too. If you get out of it, like I said, I was in a bad so-called whatever that was in 2007-ish. Between 2007, 2008, I can't remember. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it was between 2007 and 2008 because 2008 was a big it was a big opportunity for us in 2008, and we know why. I'm not going to go into that. 2008 could have been a big window of opportunity for peace and love, but we all know that failed. But at the same time, 2000, but like I said, stuff started lining up for me. I started paying attention to stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay. I see faces of people, and I'm like, oh, okay. So in other words, I'm picking up information, bringing information into me, storing information inside of me. We like to say we're computers. Okay, let's say we are. Our subconscious is a hard drive that's usually you don't know what's hidden into the hard drive, your subconscious. Everything is usually hidden, or you could say it's a hidden computer within you. Then you have your conscious, you have your psyche, blah, 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 blah. You can go all through it all. Whatever makes you up as a human being. And we're not going to go into too many details. And the responsibility, attached to that. There's a big responsibility to being a human being. Okay, and like I said, your consciousness is not going to let you pick up. It's not going to allow you to try to store as much, take on more you can handle. All you're going to do is you can attempt to take in all this so-called knowledge you think you have or think that you are. That's it. You think you are the knowledge. You can try to take in and drink, like I said, drink is drink and drink, and you're going to drown yourself in knowledge that you know that you are not able to handle, right? And so you're drowning yourself, and you're eventually going to, kill yourself, either by your hands or another. I sense that a lot with people because nobody wants to take the time to experience things. They keep wanting to jump over experiences and say, oh no, I don't need that experience, because they're paying attention to what everybody else is doing instead of knowing that that's necessary. Social media have turned a lot of people, especially the 30 and unders, into just people that are peering into other people's lives. And that opened up a whole can of worms for sociopaths, psychopaths, and narcissists, more so than any other group of people. They're benefiting more so from social media platform than anyone in humanity. That's why it's going to be so important at some point to get off of it. Okay, it will be. And so you need to get yourself some experience on how to take care of yourself and how to survive. Because chances are you may be alone, and speaking of, and this is a being alone that you do not wish upon yourself. In other words, you don't want to be alone. You don't see it as an opportunity to be alone. You see it as an opportunity. You'll feel abandoned. That's what's going to happen. You're going to feel abandoned because nobody's going to be able to get to you, or nobody's going to even know you're there, and this and that and the other. So, yes, there's a timing for everything, and you have to listen to what you are being told, what you're sensing and receiving, and you get that from experiences, so you'll know how to relate to certain things, and you can recognize danger, or love. Because love is love. That's one thing that you can't deny, that love is love. The energy of love and the power behind that. And know that we are living and we are alive because of love. Okay, otherwise why bother? Right? It's about love in the end. And doing the right thing, even if everybody else isn't, and feeling like, oh man, I'm being left out. I want to party. I want to have a good time, but things line themselves up for a reason. And again, I come to this age in my life, to where, okay, I'm thankful for all of the experiences I had, all of the rejections, and the people that I've rejected. I rejected more people than I was rejected. After I checked my paperwork, my journals, I was like, oh, okay. So that's why I don't get too worked up if I'm feeling somebody and they don't feel me. I'm good. Like I said, I've rejected people too, a lot of people, and it wasn't anything. I mean, I just want to make it clear. It's nothing personal, per se. It just wasn't the right moment, or the right right set of circumstances. I have platonic love for everyone that I've met in my life, even the people that attempted to hurt me. I still have platonic love for those people, for those persons, for those human beings. Let's be clear. Nothing but platonic love, because you gave me the experience, okay? And I got through it. And it only made me bigger. It made me just more confident and more aware of my responsibilities for my life and my survival. And they were teachers too. Yeah, they were my teachers as well. All those experiences were teachers or teachings, a teaching moment. So, and so here I am, at another moment of time, where I see a significance of it. And I know 10 years from now, or even 5 years from now, this moment here is going to be a significant moment. And I'm thankful for it. Who knows how it's gonna turn out, but I know it's significant nonetheless. 2022, 2023 is a significant point in my life, and I think it was a significant point for the whole planet. Okay, but 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, will be determined and disclosed. And then of course the dawning 2029. And like I said, the dawning at February 3rd, 2029 may be eventful and may be uneventful. It's all consciousness, right? And usually, and everything that's happening that's significant usually is happening unconsciously. But yet our behaviors and our actions start reflecting it. So in other words, we may not even know what the hell is going on, but our behaviors and our actions will reflect it. Okay, that's why it's so important to get in touch with your thoughts so that you are steering yourself properly, and that you still manage to have control of your thoughts and make sure, okay, am I going in the right path? Yes, I am. Is there any reservations, any concerns and worries? No, I have none. There's nobody tapping me on my shoulder like when something is about to go down that's not beneficial to me and could be threatening to me. I'm not feeling that at all. So that's why I know I'm making the right decisions. And that's where you need to be. That's where you need to be. But whatever you're doing, like I said, make sure you are in control of it, that you are in reality of of your situation, of where you are. What's my reality? And that you're not in fantasy and delusion. Okay, so just wanted to share that this morning. I know this is a long video, and that's fine. All I like to do is get stuff documented. And if it's not if no one's paying attention, that's fine. I'm not even that concerned about that part. You know, it's like a personal journal of my journey. And how I got to there, from where I came to where I go. How I'm becoming every day. I'm becoming, I'm developing. You remember the ing. I'm being, I'm loving, I'm growing, discovering, those kind of things. So I want to go ahead and send peace and love. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna do some more cleaning of the floors. Get ready to get things staged up here, and get stuff going and moving along, and then that way I can get on the road and get to where I need to be and where I want to be. Okay, so I want to send peace and love this morning. Everyone take care, and trust me, I'll be back.